Well, as we continue here on today's Agriculture of America, we want to have a conversation with a couple of growers and the CEO of an ag company that is really helping solve a problem for producers when it comes to their acreage reporting. Obviously, such a key thing that needs to be done each and every year. And this company is really helping folks simplify that process. And we want to learn more about this. We're talking about MyAgData joining us for a conversation while they're spending time at FARMCON this week in Kansas City. Michelle Tressel, she is the CEO of MyAgData. Michelle, thank you for joining us here on the show. It's great to talk with you.
We're excited to be here.
And I know you have a couple grower guests with you as well. Ben Bring from North Dakota. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Jesse.
And Quentin Connealy from Nebraska. Quentin, thank you for taking the time to join us as well.
Glad to be here.
Well, Michelle, I'm going to start with you. Let's talk about MyAgData. And just for starters, why did you start the company? I know you founded it about a little over a decade ago. I mean, what was the problem that you saw coming, so to speak? And tell us a little bit about just the background on why you started the company, Michelle.
Yeah, so back in 2012, in response to the 2014 Farm Bill, those of us in farming understand that those numbers are actually correct. One of the big problems that was being sought after to fix in that Farm Bill was the fact that regulatory reporting was really manual as well as redundant. So you had growers having to report in multiple different ways into different groups in the USDA. So the problem we've been working on solving since then is really simplifying the problem that exists for every grower that wants to participate in either a federal farm program or with crop insurance. So since that time, we've been working alongside the USDA to digitize and to have a real experience for a grower where they can save time, save money, increase efficiency, increase APH, all while doing nothing different on their farming operation.
And I think about this, Michelle, and you highlighted it. And we're going to get some more insights from Ben and Quentin here in a second on this. But working with USDA and getting over some of the burdensome aspects of reporting and understaffing and things of that nature. This is a problem that, to your point, we have had for quite a long time. And I know as farmers and ranchers, the last thing we want to do is waste time when we're busy on the farm, right, Michelle?
Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy listening to the comments from both Quentin as well as Ben. But I'll give you from our business perspective, our goal is to sit in a position where we can take that burden off of the growers. In our work alongside the USDA since 2012, we have clearly had a very close working relationship with both FSA field offices as well as FSA office at the national level. And I think we're in a really unique time in regulatory reporting for the USDA with the Trump administration, the real focus on wringing out manual or really work that is redundant. We've seen a renewed effort in bringing the end to paper maps. If you heard Richard Fordyce's testimony, he mentioned it. Bill Beam at Big Iron, he mentioned it. This is a key effort of the FSAs. And we are uniquely positioned to help growers take advantage of the fact that they can now use a lot of the data that they currently have in order to make that reporting really easy, simplify it, and add to their bottom line from an efficiency perspective. And to your point on the FSA, I do want to add, we were in DC right before Christmas and met with a lot of the FPAC members and had the opportunity to spend some time with Richard Fordyce. I think we can all expect in spring of 2026 that the burden on those FSA technicians is going to increase. And I don't believe we're going to see any increase in resources there. So it's going to be really critical for farmers to think about, how can I take some of that risk off of the table of my having to really work with a much smaller workforce on something that's so critical given all of the subsidies and payments that are happening right now. When we get to Ben Bring, he'll tell you his story about his FSA office. And I think you'll be able to see that real tie-in to the timing of the importance of this solution for growers across the nation for 2026.
No, excellent points there, Michelle. Well, let's hear from these guys. And she brought it up. So Ben, let's start with you here. And I know from your perspective, you had an FSA technician that left. So talk about that, how that impacted your operation when that happened, and then tie that in with why you are using MyAgData.
Great. Yes. A technician that I'd used since I started farming had said that she was going to retire. We had worked closely for all the years through this, and the new ones coming in, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. So I wanted to do this as simply as possible, and reaching out with Michelle, they showed me their plan. We tied all of our stuff together. It was seamless and fast. Went really good, and it's accurate. We're reporting what we're truly planting.
And I think that's the big key there is reporting what you're truly planting, Ben, but also, just the time save. I mean, for both of you guys and for all farmers, busy harvest season, whatever the case is, or spring planting, or just every day of the year, you guys have enough going on. You don't need to be sitting back and worrying about making sure all these numbers are right. Why not use technology to help you and save a little bit of time, right, Ben?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're already using all this technology in our stuff anyway. We're just tying this into one more step to get it more accurate and everything. And then it gave me more time to go out and do the spraying and all that other stuff that's got to be done after spring planting, instead of taking the 10 to 12 hours or 18 hours it can take to do these acreage reporting maps.
Yeah, absolutely. Quentin, your perspective, why do you use MyAgData?
I'm a big data and accuracy guy, and it comes down to traceability for me. So then finding all the ways we can use our data on the farm is beneficial for me, since that tractor is doing all the work, sub-inch accuracy. We let the tractor do all the work for us, and then like Ben said, spending a day or two going with paper maps with a crayon is not much fun when we could be out there doing something a little more fun, or just sending our data and getting managed services, getting the info to the right place, getting it through to FSA office. It's pretty slick once you get used to it.
Well, and
Yeah,
I have
I'll add, Jesse, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Both Q and Ben use our managed services product. So we actually do all of the work for them with their data. We have two different ways growers can work with us. They can use our managed services, or we have a fully SaaS self-service online tool they can use. We also have the ability to source and work with every grower regardless of their technology on the farm. You can simply use your common land unit, which, as you know, most growers use their common land units as you think about your 578 reporting. We can just do that in a really digital, seamless manner. We can use your boundaries, or like Q and Ben, we have automatic inflows of data from Operations Center, from Case IH, from Climate Field View, Ag Leader, you name it. We've already got those APIs built so that the data can flow in directly. So regardless of the grower's technology on the farm, we can accommodate them where they are so that they can really simplify and spend less time on their regulatory reporting.
Yeah, and Michelle, I mean, to that point, Ben Q, I mean, it sounds to me like it's pretty much a plug and play thing for you guys, depending on whatever equipment you have at your operation, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, talk about that a little bit, Ben.
Yeah, it works really great for us because we have every color of equipment. We got red, we got green, we got yellow, we got black, we got every color. So it was all seamless. Once we gave them the rights for all of that, they got all that figured out, got all our map data in, and it went very smooth.
Yeah. Quentin, your perspective on that, and just again, the time save that I have to think it has for you on your operation.
Yeah, so we run a lot of green equipment. We're totally integrated with the John Deere Operations Center, so it flows through really easy. It's a really simple process. We just have to make sure everything's input in the tractor right and going through the field, and we're pretty much seamless. But from there, we break it down even more. We go irrigated and dry land acres. So we have there's lots of drawing that has to go in there, and then MyAgData handles that service for us too.
We're having a conversation today with Michelle Tressel, the CEO at MyAgData, along with grower guests who use their product, Ben Brink from North Dakota and Quentin Connealy from Nebraska. And Michelle, I'll come back to you a little bit here, and just hearing from these guys and hearing how this helps them on their farm, and just the accuracy of improved reporting here compared to the manual side. And you mentioned it earlier, some of the challenges at USDA, FSA offices, and more. And so it just seems like as you continue to expand the company and more, and obviously as agriculture, we just continue to embrace technology. This is something that really just makes sense, in my view, for a lot of growers, right, Michelle?
Yeah, we feel that the paper map process is just not sustainable. We
Mhm.
have another of our growers that likes to say that they are able to have cutting edge machinery on the farm, and then they have to pull out the stone tablet and a chisel when they go in to do their regulatory reporting. We are the only third party that's earned the credentials to transact data directly into the USDA clearinghouse. So for us, we allow the growers to take their technology and really utilize that in order to report how they're actually farming. The benefits to that are cost savings on crop insurance. You're only paying for what you're farming. I'll have both Q and Ben talk a little bit about their personal savings on their farms if they're willing to share that. But it also allows for a corresponding increase to APH. As you think about how you're calculating that productivity per acre, this is really important. You don't want to overstate those acres because you're going to be understating how productive you are per acre. That's going to impact you as you think about other programs and how you're being really looked at from an overall efficiency on your farm. Additionally, you've got your time savings. And then, Ben said to me once, he goes, I just want to report the way I farm. I want the FSA to be able to look at my operation and it reflects the way I actually farm. But Ben, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, you just wanted to be able to be accurate as possible for both FSA and crop insurance. It simplifies the process. We don't have all these extra acres as idle or grass or something. I mean, and then as far as the insurance side, we did see about a 3 to 4% increase in APH on soybeans last year by reporting more accurate data.
Which is obviously huge for your bottom line. Quentin, your perspective on this, and just the accuracy and the savings, et cetera.
Yeah, accuracy is big for me. And then the premium savings. So breaking out our irrigated and dry land acres to specific acres per dry land, per irrigated. So we're not paying full parcel to irrigation. So it's all pivot corners, dry land corners. So it's all seamless now. Saved us about 10 grand a year. So the last few years we've been doing it. So right there, that pays for itself and keeps me intrigued and bringing more accuracy to the farm.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Ben and Quentin, I'm going to ask you as we wrap up here, and then we'll go to Michelle for some final thoughts. But what advice would you give other growers who are out there still doing the manual reporting, and they're scratching their heads, they're looking for something to help them out with that and make things more efficient, and maybe they want to look at MyAgData? What would you tell growers who are still out there doing that manual reporting, Ben?
Get a hold of them. It's simple. Just do it. Just get it done with. Try it. Make sure you'll like it once you do it.
Quentin, your thoughts?
Make your data work for you and give it to somebody that can handle it, clean it up, and make sure it's accurate. It's pretty simple. I mean, I just randomly had a problem on the farm, met with them, and they fixed my problem. And I've been happy for the 3 years we've been running this and working on the farm. So it's proven on the east side of Nebraska, and we love it.
Well, I know the website is myagdata.com. Michelle, final thoughts from you. Anything you would mention, reiterate to folks here as we close out our conversation today on AOA?
Yeah, I would just also comment that one thing we haven't talked about is data privacy. At MyAgData, we don't sell you anything else. We're here to streamline your regulatory reporting process. Think of us as the TurboTax for regulatory reporting. So your data is always yours. And as we think about our closing comments, you know, we've worked for a really long time alongside the USDA to make this simple for growers. We all in our organization, the vast majority of us come from farming families. We have live support on by people in the United States. We're headquartered in Fargo, North Dakota. And we really have the farmer's best interest in our key messaging is really how do we benefit that grower? So please give a check out to our website, myagdata.com. We'd be happy to connect you with one of our growers if you've got questions about how the process works. And we just think at this point in time when growers are really being pressured from input costs, efficiency, how do we think about reducing risk in the operation? This is a really easy way to reduce risk in your operation, utilize your data, and put your farming operation in a better position for the next year.
I love that. I always preach managing your risk on your operation, and there's many ways to do that. And this sounds like one of those ways to help out. MyAgData.com for more information. Ben, Quentin, thank you both for joining us, sharing your farmer perspective on MyAgData. We appreciate the time, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank
Jesse.
you.
Thank you.
And Michelle, thank you as well. We appreciate the time and you telling us more about MyAgData. Michelle, thanks so much.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
And again, that website, myagdata.com for more information.